What is a libertarian? Libertarians vary. They differ on why they're libertarians, how fast change should be made, or how far it should go, what will achieve those changes, but virtually all libertarians agree that the focus should be on reducing, even to zero, the level of initiated violence that is legally and socially permissible. When presented with a social problem, the libertarian's first and primary question is, will the proposed solution involve threats or the initiation of force, or will it rely on persuasion and perhaps even reduce the present level of initiated violence? This is because libertarians, more than any other political philosophy, are concerned about the means that are used to achieve an end. The libertarian has a mental lever in mind that tells him or her it's wrong to initiate force to achieve social goals. Persuasion and voluntary cooperation are better. Acts of coercion are very likely to cause more harm than good. Threats and actual initiated violence violate the conscience and happiness of individuals. All of this thinking is packed into the golden rule concept known as the zero aggression principle or the non-aggression principle. Libertarians use an empathetic approach. Thus, it's no surprise that libertarians can share your social concerns. Libertarians include pornographers and pastors, Wiccans, Christians, and atheists, feminists or pro-lifers, environmentalists or corporate titans. They can be intensely concerned about healthcare, education, homelessness, terrorism, and violence on the streets. In other words, while the libertarian is critical of statist programs because these schemes initiate force, he or she can often does agree that there is indeed a social problem and problems need solutions. A libertarian will often be ready to join you in creating those solutions, but the libertarian will be just as concerned about the means you propose to use. The libertarian will want to take direct, peaceful, voluntary action to solve the problem. They will not want to wait while you lobby Congress. It's both inefficient and rude to pass a law compelling submission to one master plan. To enlist libertarian support, you need a more empathetic, cooperative solution that still leaves room for other people to try their preferred solutions. By Jim Babka and Perry Willis. What is the state or statism? Some people seek to use the state to impose their personal preferences on others. Libertarians call such people statists and their philosophy statism. Statists believe it's moral for the state to threaten or initiate force against individual conscience. Agents of the state, politicians, bureaucrats, police, can legally do things that would be criminal for others to do. The state ends justify the means. By comparison, libertarians believe governments must obey the zero aggression principle, or the non-aggression principle. They must not initiate force. They must only use force defensively. What is the state? The state is the negation of government. The state is a monopoly that initiates force under the pretense of governing. The state compels obedience on matters far beyond the scope of legitimate governance. The state uses threats of violence to extort submission. The state uses actual violence to harm people who resist its dictates. All of this crime is not governance. You will avoid contradictory thinking if you distinguish between government and the state. Governing is a service that protects your rights by using only force defensively. But the state initiates force in everything it does and therefore is not governance. This constant use of initiated force means that the state is really an organized criminal gang. There is a long habit of not thinking about the state in this way, but we must stop using a double standard. We must come to judge the state by the same moral principle we apply to all other human institutions. To promote empathy, equality, the zero aggression principle, and legitimate governance, you must oppose the state. What is the zero aggression principle? The zero aggression principle is the key libertarian idea, also known as the non-aggression principle. It says, don't aggress against others personally or politically. That means limit force to defensive purposes, example, criminal justice, and let people live by their own conscience, provided they permit the same to others. Libertarians want a world where governments only use force defensively. No aggression.